Okay, welcome along. I'm just doing a quick prep part to my live Facebook cooking demonstration that I'm going to be doing with you. So this is the dough component to the recipe that I will be doing live. So I've already begun. So you'll see already in the top part, I thought of this later that I'm doing it in two parts, and I'll add this in so that you've got all of it when you want to have a look at it. So this is the water already in it. So this is the pizza scroll recipe, and I can flick you the recipe to this, but it's in cookie dough. So have a look for that. So we have popped in 300 grams of water already in the bowl. So that's in there. And we're now going to add 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. So I keep my dried yeast in the fridge. This is just a fresh one that I've opened up. And then I'm going to transfer it into a jar so that it stays fresh in the fridge. It also requires baking powder in this particular recipe. So this is 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, and pop that to the side. So we're going to tick that we've done that. Now it's asking for 20 grams of olive oil. So I've got a light olive oil here that I'm going to pop in. 20 grams, got to watch that. So it goes up in gram increments, so it's pretty accurate. The scales are in the bottom of your Thermomix as well. So there we go. 20 grams, or it's just slightly over for that one. Then it wants some sea salt. So I've got some sea salt flakes here. I'm going to have to update mine because I'm running low. We quite like the sea salt flakes. It adds a lovely flavour to the recipe. So we'll tick that. And then we're going to go next. So that's just going to warm up your yeast and activate it. So that's for 2 minutes. So we're going to get that ready. And while that's happening, I'm just going to put the rest of my yeast back into the jar here, because they've changed the container and it's a cardboard one. And I actually found that mine fell over in the fridge and yeast went everywhere. So unfortunately, I don't like their new product design, but we can adapt that and put it in a glass jar, which is quite nice anyway, so that I know that I've always got that available to me. So you can buy smaller portions, but we have always found that, keeping it fresh in the fridge means that we can always make some dough, because we'll make our own pizza dough, because that also saves money in your kitchen, in your grocery bills. And then we're going to be adding some baker improver. So that also helps make a beautiful dough, and it lasts longer as well. So this is a great recipe for snacks. So the dough that we're going to be using, I'm actually going to halve that, and I'm going to use it for a savoury and a sweet option. So you could make yourself some apple and cinnamon scrolls for a dessert. You might be able to put some lovely topping on that, which might be a what would you like to? You could have an icing, or you could have some cream cheese frosting, whatever works for you. So you could also do a Nutella one. That might be quite popular, a chocolatey flavoured one, whatever floats your boat in your house. So we're counting that down. So it's counting down for 25 seconds. And you can see that we can also scroll the screen to see the next part that we're going to be adding. So, and then I can tap up so I can get all of my items out ready. I'm not sure if I have got quite enough baker's flour left. So if I don't, I'm going to have to pop over and just get out some of my standard flour, because I'm due to update by the next ingredients. So we'll click next. So that has activated our yeast. And of course, I didn't actually incorporate all of that. Some of it was on the top of. Got to be mindful when you're putting it in your bowl that you get it in the bowl and not just on the blade like I've kind of done. So that happens. So this is how I keep my flour, because I usually buy a bulk amount of baker's flour, but it depends how much cooking you do in your household. So we're after 500 grams. So once again, that's going to add that up as we go along. I'm going to be getting out the last scraps of this. And remember, when you're pouring in your ingredients, actually going to take this off, not to touch the sides, because that will actually affect your scales as well. So just remember not to be touching that. Okay, let's see how I go. If I make a mess, I apologise in advance. Anything can happen. As I try to get my last little bits out of... Yes, we are definitely going to be needing our other flour. So not too bad, but we've got to... I'll just pop over to my cupboard and get out more of my flour. So this is just regular everyday flour that I have here. So we want 500. So making things at home, as I said, saves you money, and you also know what's going into them. And you could also turn this into a gluten-free option if you wanted. So this is probably a standard dough that we could use. All right, so we've done that. The next we want 1 teaspoon of bread improver. So that's not much, so we use that every now and then for our recipes, making your own breads. Good to keep in the cupboard as well. Put that in. And then we'll go next, and it'll just bring the dough together. So I'm going to be going out of the house, so I'm going to be making my dough beforehand, and I'm going to pop it in the fridge so that it starts to do its rising process in there, because I don't know how long I'm going to be out, and if I leave it out of the fridge it could overproof. So that's how I'm rolling with this one today. So combine, so it's now going to bring it all together. And this is when you can be cleaning up your kitchen as well. So that's done it already. So we go next, and then it's going to do the kneading process. So you can see, we'll pop up and see that that's started to bring that all together. And we're now going to knead the dough. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to start cleaning up my kitchen. And then we're going to be putting it into I'll put it in my thermo mat so that it can stay, and then that helps me roll it out when it's in that as well. So this is my thermo mat that I absolutely love, use all the time. So I fold my dough in this, and then I also roll it out, and it doesn't stick. So over in the kitchen, cleaning up as we go. One of the benefits of owning a Thermomix means you can, keep your kitchen clean, because you're doing 2 things at once. While it's doing all the work there, you're able to do some cleanup, and then you're back with your family again. So yeah, think about how that looks in your home. So that's done. I've got to dry my hands. And it makes the sound, so then we tick that that's done, and we click next. So it says transfer dough into a silicone bread mat or floured work surface and work into a ball. So that is what our dough looks like. Looks all lovely combined and in together, so all the hard work is taken out. I turn my bowl upside down, twist the bottom knob, and everything comes out. I can feel that releasing now. You can also use the bottom... Where did I put that? I've already put that away. You can also use the bottom with the TM7, the bottom of your spatula. That also goes on top there, and it helps you twist as well if you have got lack of strength in your wrist. And then look at that. So you can see that everything has come out of that bowl beautifully. And it's on the bench here, so we're going to just bring that into a ball, and it's a nice dough feeling texture wise. It doesn't need to be too fussy. It's not needing to be perfect. All right, so then we go next, and so wrap it in your silicone mat, and and cover, place a ceramic bowl and cover in a kitchen towel. Leave it to proof for approximately 30 minutes. So I will be putting it in the fridge because I won't be home. I'm just popping out. So this is once again saving myself time in my kitchen where we have to multitask as we do as people. And that's going in my fridge, and then I will take that out when I get back home for the next steps of my pesto scrolls. All right, talk to you soon.